What's up and what's happening, people? Welcome back to wahsup TV and to all you can eat warriors, and I mean all you can eat warriors. And we've got a very special guest. And if you want to eat, it's nice to have a bit of variety, right? If you go to the buffet, it's nice to have a little bit of a change up all the time. It's not the best thing to eat the same thing every time. Mm-hmm. So we had to bring on a very special guest, my man, Warriors NRL Fanatics. How are you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's actually great to finally be on your show. I love watching the episodes that you guys do, and you guys do a great job. And so it's good to be on. It's great to see you, Ash and wahsup. We had you guys on my channel, so it's good to return the favor and come on you guys' show. And looking forward to the show tonight. So hope everyone's doing well, and looking forward to it.
Thank you, my man, and appreciate you being here. And my man, as always, the co-host of the show, the man with the knowledge and the deep dive stats tonight. We'll be doing some statistical analysis. My man, Ash, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, good, bro. Good. It's always good to come on the show, man. All you can eat. We like to eat around here. So I'm so keen for this game this weekend. We're going to eat up those points. I'm really, really excited. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. And everyone in the chat, thank you for popping in. Jazz Tamate, as always, greetings, sir. Jacko. And Mr. Fanatic, shout out to Mr. Fanatic, EJ Tamati, Tanya King, thank you, kia ora Tanya, Richard, my man, and Tahi, bro. Welcome in everyone so far. There's 30 of you guys on all platforms, so we appreciate you coming in. There are 5 on Twitter and 3 on Ash Thomas TV. Thank you guys for coming in as well. If you are there, give us a like and subscribe. And those that are on wahsup podcast on Twitter, give us a repost. That'd be lovely to share the love. Oh my goodness, we have a celebrity in the house. NZ Jersey Hunter.
Wow.
Lads, whoa. No further introduction there. If you don't know, get to know. That's all I can say. And we're talking a little bit of actually jerseys at the end of the show. So if you're hanging around by the end of the show, Jersey Hunter. Actually, let's get it while we're here. Actually, I think we better start off with that while the main man is here.
100%.
Thoughts on the Anzac jersey, boys? We'll start with you, Fanatics. What's your thoughts there, brother?
So I saw it today, and I absolutely love the new jersey, the Anzac jersey. You can see that they've got the Australian New Zealand represent there in the jersey, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, I think it's awesome. I may buy one. It's tempting. It's really tempting to buy one, but I absolutely love it. I really like the looks of it. So can't wait to see the boys put it on Anzac Day. So looks great. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull up some visuals here while we're here, guys, just to show everyone. If you've been in a cave for the last couple hours, you may not have seen this, but look at the fire on there. I mean, we'll get Jersey Hunter, the man with all the knowledge. If you are in the chat, brother, tell us what you think. Us novices of the Jersey game will give our thoughts. But Ash, your thoughts on the overall design?
Bro, you just got to say, like, the Warriors with jerseys, man. Like, I don't know what it is about our club, but I honestly think we make the best jerseys around, you know what I mean? I've some like my favorite jersey of all time, always. Just some Warriors jerseys out there. But this one, man, I love the fern across. Obviously, the different colors. You got the reds, you got the oranges, meaning the sun and that. Like, Oh, bro, it belts it out of the park. Like, you know, sometimes you can do a little bit too much, and I felt like it was like leaning on the edge a little bit of doing too much, but I think it's just where you want it to be. You know what I mean? Other jerseys out there, like the South's jersey, I don't know how I feel about that one. Like, there's a couple out there where I'm like, this one knocks it out of the park, in my opinion.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate just for the sake of it. Yeah, it is a bit busy for me. But you know, when you see a jersey in the flesh, it can be a little bit different. But I love all that it represents. I mean, it's like a massive, almost like an art piece, eh? You know what I mean? It's
100%.
very much an art piece. Maybe too much of an art piece as opposed to a jersey, just for being devil's advocate.
How about Wado's arms in there, though?
I was just saying there, bro. The
Jesus.
sleeve matches the actual flow of his actual jersay.
Them tatted up boys going to be looking
Yeah,
good,
it actually
man.
looks really good on him. Like I was
Yeah,
thinking,
bro.
he's probably the perfect model for that. Actually, the stars, the Southern Cross there looks mean, like kind of on an angle.
Yeah.
Didn't just actually kind of noticed that.
Just reminds me a little. It gives you a little bit of that touch, you know. Was it the 2011 when we came through the finals, we beat the Tigers in that
Yeah.
Southern Cross shirt. Yeah, bro. Like, man,
Right.
memories.
Yeah, and shout out to Jersey Hunter saying, I'm glad that it actually has reference to Oz and New Zealand. Don't think the other teams have the Anzac spirit. I appreciate that too.
I agree with you on that.
Never really
100%.
thought of that.
Have you seen the South jersey, boys? Have you seen that one I would be talking about?
No, I haven't.
No. Yeah.
It's got like a navy flavor. I understand why they kind of did it. Obviously, you know, they're bringing in navy boys and all that sort of stuff, but like it just has no South's colors. There's like, it just looks a bit off. What's the other ones I've seen? There was like a really like bland green one that's been floating around. I can't remember what teams Ray knows, but yeah, it's good to see our team do some amazing things with our jerseys and that, and incorporate so many different things between, you know, the full Anzac spirit, which is what it should be. And, you know, it's good to see actually we get Anzac Day at home now. So,
Yeah.
that's a good thing there.
Yeah, that's definitely another bonus. Shout out to Montel Butterworth. What a name. Just flows off the tongue. Logging in from Brisbane Southside. Thank you, my man. Thank you for coming in here. Punter saying would look would look good without the big halo in the middle, like the Jersey Heritage. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I've been harping on about that. Even though I was at the 1NZ home base, I shouldn't, you know, those are my sponsors. And I actually, yeah, it is a little bit too busy, eh? That one NZ
you
logo.
hit the big time though, my brother.
I can't talk bad of the 1NZ, you know what I mean? I gotta respect the people, but it is a little bit busy. But yes, hey, welcome in 40. Nanad, go the Dragons. It's your week, buddy. We're talking about
Here it
your
is.
team. So welcome in, Jacko here, just bringing us all down to earth. It says, league fans love their jerseys. I'm just giving me a premiership. He doesn't want any jerseys. He doesn't need
He wants prems.
He wants prems. But anyway, guys, let's get into this. Thank you everyone in the chat that's in there. First topic pretty much is Fanatics. We're going to hit you up, man. We've done a little bit of a review on our post-match show. Give us your thoughts, bro, on how the game went for you. What was your observations? What was your review?
So yeah, look, the way we started this game wasn't great at all, and I got like the Seagulls' physicality, really took it to Warriors early on, and we really struggled. There was our errors to start this game. It was a couple of errors early on to some players that you don't usually see. Look, we got a few tries before half time there, and I felt like to be only 16-10 down, I thought, man, we were very fortunate that we were only 16-10 down at the break, and the second half, and Manly started off pretty well. They scored a try there to Ben Travojevic there, and I felt like it was going to be a really tough for us, to come back from that, even though it was a long way to go. But we stuck with them. We stuck really tough with them. Our effort there was great, and we scored a try in that last second to Dillon there. And look, I felt like going to Golden Point, maybe we had the momentum on our side, and we did. We started that first period of Golden Point pretty well. Our defence was very strong, and Webby talked about that in the post-game press conference. How he was impressed with the defence and the Golden Point, where they, we didn't give Manly a lot of opportunities at the Golden
100%.
at the 1-pointer, and then we maybe our execution could have been a lot better, I thought, in the Golden Point. But in saying that, like we came away with the draw. A draw is a good result considering all things that we were down early on in that game, 16-0. and it could have been a lot worse. So, yeah, a draw, you take it any day of the week. I'd personally take the draw. I'm very happy with the point at the end of the day. And, Manly played well as well. They probably deserved the point. I don't know if they'd be disappointed with the fact that, they could have won that game when they had that lead. But sounds like from what Seabolt said in the press conference there, that they were pretty happy with the draw as well. So both coaches were pretty happy with taking a point away from that game. So, yeah, generally pretty happy with the draw. But, I've probably also had another mixed feeling that also we probably could have won the game as well in Golden Point, which we had our chances. So,
100%.
yeah, so I've got two feelings to the game, and that was it. So, yeah.
Do you sit on the side of we were really poor and Manly was good enough to beat us, or do you sit on the side that Manly actually a really good team, and we're a good team, but maybe they just got the better of us overall? What was your thoughts on that?
Look, I think we weren't great at the start. We definitely weren't great in this one. There was a couple of times we just looked a bit clunky. I think we looked a bit flat, personally. That's why we made a lot of mistakes, and our completion rate wasn't great at all, to be honest, in the game in general. A few penalties as well. We've given away a few penalties to start the game, and that didn't help our case. Probably took a bit of petrol out of the Warriors defensively. But Manly themselves, look, I do give them a bit of credit as well. I thought they played pretty well. They definitely targeted our left side. I think our left side got targeted pretty massively a lot in this game. The Warriors' defence has been pretty good to start the season. I think we're ranked top defensive side in the comp. So it was a bit unusual to see us leak a lot of points there to start the game, especially. And the likes of Cherry Evans and their four-pack pretty much exposed the Warriors there as well. So that's just what I felt with regards to how Manly played. And they played great. I don't know if they deserve to lose the game, Manly. But I don't know if we deserve to win the game, especially. So I sit on that. I sort of sit on that fence that we probably come away with it as a draw, as a good result. But we probably could have done a bit better as well in terms of the way we played. So that's how I felt.
Yeah, good, great call there, brother. Ash, you got any more thoughts on the game itself, or anything to take away from it?
Yeah, no, I think Fanatics pretty much hit the nail on the head overall. There is two different thoughts of having this game. Like, the first thought is obviously the boys putting themselves like 16-0 down, having to drag their way back into this contest. And, like we shouldn't have been at that point, you know what I mean? If all our errors, we cleaned up our errors, all that sort of stuff, we could have easily won this game, in my opinion. And there was moments in this game where we looked like we were turning the pressure gauge on the Manly Seagulls, but we were just unable to keep it on due to our own errors and stuff like that. So, and then the opposite thought of is, even though we went 16-0 down, we came away with a draw, and that all came down to just us sticking to a game plan, sticking solid to what we are at the moment as a club, and doing it through hard-nosed defense, kicking to corners, and just getting like our work done. Like Chauncey getting through 340 run meters and all that, just hard work got it done for us to get the draw. So the boys got a little bit of a taste, sort of like the Sharks game last year, that if we continue to run this game plan, even if we didn't come away with a win in that game, we didn't get beat, if that makes sense. So that's a really big tick to get out of this one, is like, we just need to continue on this track and keep working towards each other, and just keep working hard for the squad. And I think all the fans, that's the only thing that we really ask for with the squad, is just to work really hard, and the results will come.
There's an argument, and I've kind of looked at the tape a little bit closely and thought, did Manly mismanage that closeout of that game? My example being, I think with 3 minutes, I can't remember, but Cherry Evans grabbed the ball out to the touchline. It's 2020 hindsight, obviously, but is there an argument, Ash, that they maybe mismanaged it, or was it just purely coincidence? Because I think of the Warriors mismanaged for sure the Melbourne Storm game, obviously with the charge down from Barnett. Similar situation, Aloiai goes for the leg and gets pinned. Do you think there's an argument for that, or no?
I think honestly, when you put a lot of teams under a ton of pressure, like that's when things kind of bounce your way over time. And I think, that later on in that game, in that second half, the amount of pressure we put Manly under, we had to come away with something. I remember, as I kind of touched on with our post-match show and all that, was I was messaging a mate of mine, and I was saying to everyone in the Warriors chat, I was like, how many of you guys, I know you were at the game, Levon, and all that, but if everyone watching the game, how many of you guys turned it off, at 16-0 down? I don't know too many people that would have, because we know this team at the moment can just drag back anything it can. And in that second half, when I was legit, the only time I end up feeling like I lost hope was legit about 2 minutes, 1 minute left, where Shawnee put the grubber dead and they had a 7-tackle set. And I was like, oh, I think that might be us. And then the boys pulled that out of the hat, you know what I mean? And it all came down to all our defensive work. So I put it more down to we pushed the result on the Manly Seagulls and Manly kind of mismanaging, even though they've had a past of mismanaging with the Parramatta game and all that sort of stuff. Because overall, when I look at this game, I feel like we lost this one ourselves. But we did really well to drag it back to get a result out of it. In my opinion, I thought Manly played outstanding, and I'll always give Manly the props. But I honestly still feel like if we didn't have the amount of errors we had in that game, I don't think Manly would have put the scoreline of what they did due to their field position and the way they scored their tries. So that's my honest opinion on it.
Cool. And just giving ideas out there. Jacko here is saying, Manly should have closed the game out for sure. And T Mackey's saying Manly ran out of gas due to Warriors' momentum and injuries. So there is an argument for both. Like Ash is saying, the Warriors forced that upon the Manly side. And I give big credit to our team that we aren't quitting. Remember, I know for a fact, we all know for a fact the Warriors of old would throw the ball around. The coach would get the comms through to the trainer, hey, just tell the boys free flow, basketball, whatever you want to do. This team is very focused on, we're going to stick to, we're 16 down, we'll find a way, we'll grind out a point, so.
I think it's pretty teed up, with Jacko's comment here, main positive for me is our energy levels and that. Our fitness that we've come into the season with is on a different level. Mitch Barnett in the late minutes of those games, for him to step up and to really take a hold of that game through the middle against a big forward pack was just on a different level. And I think that's throughout the whole team. Chance has come back off a hamstring injury, 2 games in, and he's 349 meters or whatever it was. That's a massive thing. So obviously we're training really well. And just I hate to keep bringing up the Panthers, because honestly, it's the easiest way to really show you where we are going. And the game plan is pushing teams to create pressure and create errors for us to, benefit off those errors and stuff like that. So I've seen it from when Webby's first started into our team, and it's bled all the way through till now. And it's even, especially in this season, we are really backing our defense, and you kind of see it with a couple of stats I'll bring up a little bit later on.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Jacko again saying main positive for me was our energy levels and Golden Point, showing our fitness system. Yeah, that was huge. I think you even mentioned that, Fanatics. About just the resilience. Webby mentioned it. It's funny how a lot of us fans mention the result, but the coach is looking at something totally different. Yeah. He was more excited that we defended the second 7-tackle set than actually winning the game.
Exactly.
Which tells you a lot about the mentality of our coach. Thank you, Team Mackie. Manly should have won the regular. Warriors should have won extra time. Yeah, draw was probably fair. That's a good one there.
100%.
And into Webby, mental fortitude. Yes. Yeah. No, love it. Welcome in, Confident Carter, coming in from the Ash Thomas channel. Active playtime videos for kids. Love it, man.
Love that.
Yeah, love that.
Shout out to you.
We might need that for my daughter. If you got some little videos there, mate. I need to keep her busy.
Bookmark on.
Yeah. Okay, let's we'll get to you guys in the chat here quickly. Joshua Hill, welcome in, man. That was arguably our worst first half of football since round 5 Sharks last year. Our mentality has changed so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jazz Tamati as well. Appreciate our fitness and resilience, but we paid big time for all the errors made and put ourselves far too much under pressure on the catch-up. Yeah, a mix of everything, guys. It pretty much had a lot. There's a lot of information in that game. So we learned a lot. But let's just quickly track into injuries.
Yep.
Are we in crisis mode yet? or are we showing that we have great depth? Fanatics, what's your thoughts on this?
I wouldn't say crisis. I wouldn't go that far, but it does definitely puts a bit of a worry on whether our depth can handle this the amount of players out, because we've got a few there at the moment. I'm just seeing on here, Bunty Afoa, he's not back till round 12. It's saying round 12. Marata Niokore is another one who's had a few issues this year with injuries as well, and he just came back not long ago, and now he's out again. So it's saying around 14 for Marata Niokore as well, and then obviously Luke Metcalf there, he's got to be. It's really gutting for him that he's going to be missed quite some time, and then Jazz, of course, the most recent one. Don't know what's happening when he's going to be out for, but there's talks that he'll be out for four weeks approximately. So that's quite a while. And then you got Dylan Walker as well and Sifa Kula as well. So those are the injuries at the moment, what they've got on the Warriors website there. And I think our depth, I do feel like our depth, we've got enough depth at the moment. Like in the past couple of years, like I've always been worried about our depth and it's not been great. But I think right now we can call upon someone like a Jacob Levon to come to the side. Albeit he's quite a young player, but we can call upon some players like that to come in and do a job there. And the likes of Kalani Goings and Silva Kula, Zion Maus, Silva Kula's out, but you've got the Warriors have got enough depth. I think they've got enough depth at the moment to cover those positions in the forward. So, but the biggest worry is if the likes of your Adam Fanua Blakes go out, your Mitch Barnett's, like those players, if they get injured, that's a bit of a chunk of the inner experience, off the side. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about the depth at the moment, but if it comes to if there are a few more injuries over the next couple of weeks, it could be a bit of a concern. But at the moment, I think it's all right at the moment, what we've got with the depth at the moment.
Yeah, not crisis mode as such. Maybe some good calls here. That maybe T Mackey saying a middle forward crisis. Maybe could be. Ash, your thoughts on injuries so far, and are they hampering us, or are they has it gotten to a stage where we need to be concerned?
Yeah, I think it's like more so hampering as a fan to not see our full strength squad yet. Like I don't think for our one game this year we've seen a full strength squad and what Webby kind of is envisioning with his squad, which is it's tough early on in the season to have the amount of injuries that we've kind of had, and especially with middles and stuff like that. Like if we're really thinking of what the team list has been named today, having Adam Bompe with in that 17th man, like Zion Mau, we're kind of maybe expecting. I think a lot of people are expecting him to jump into that spot there. We've got a very young bench in that sort of look now. Chanel's just coming back off a year break. Arle's still, very young in his NRL career. Laban's very, very young in his NRL career, and Zion will be debuting. So that's a very, very young bench and stuff. But when we're looking at the talent wise, the players that are stepping into these positions, they're very talented players. And so that's where it's kind of depth is getting tested, as in these experienced first graders, that when we see our full strength squad, we're like, all right, these guys are solid, we're going to be all the way through. And then now we're getting to where we're going to our junior depth, which is very talented, but are they ready to make that big jump yet consistently? So it's getting tested a little bit here, but as we started off the season, our depth was incredible to start, and it's kind of holding up really, really well at the moment with all the injuries we're going through the middle especially.
There's also really good call, and it's also it's about getting guys some minutes early in the season. I think if you look at someone like a Laban, great to get him some early runs.
Yeah.
And if he does go out, say we get Marata and Walker back and he drops out, it'd be good to have him come back in the back end of the season. And if you're in a big moment, you can trust him. That's why I would love to see Zion actually get a run this Friday. 100%. I think it'd be perfect timing. And I love the main thing about me with depth, and it goes back to a guy like, for example, the guys that are coming through now, they've got a lot of support coming through. So they're not on their own. I mean, look at a guy like a CHT coming through the grades and coming into first grade. felt as though he was on his own a lot of the time in big spots.
Yeah.
For our forwards that are coming in now, they're gonna, they're sheltered almost. They're like parents that are, watch every step of the way of their kids. They've got Barnett, they've got AFB to protect them. So they can, they've got room to grow and be nurtured. So, very much so. Okay, I think that's a good call by everyone. Appreciating everyone in the chat there. Yeah, Tanya's saying if it was a couple of our starting 13, then we'd have a problem. Yeah. Ash, a very inexperienced bench. Yeah, and that's probably we'll get into that, guys, in terms of the team list. Appreciate everyone sharing their thoughts there. We got 91 people. Appreciate you guys all coming in from different places.
Love it.
Wahsup TV, we got 48. Thank you. If you are there, give us a like and subscribe if you're new. And a Wahsup podcast on Twitter. Please give us a repost if you can. And Ash Thomas, we appreciate you guys coming in as well. JDB Selects, thank you. I think it might be the first time.
Mr. Big Time.
Oh, you know this man, JDB?
Yeah, big on YouTube, bro. He's got amazing content. If you guys haven't checked him out, go check him out. Like, honestly, his graphics are like second to none on YouTube and all that. So, amazing work, guy, bro. Like, up the wires, baby.
Thank you, JDB. Appreciate you, man. And yes, thank you for coming through. Mark Pairata, thank you, sir. May have seen your name a few times. When does Kossi get a look? And he was a beast in the Sharks game last year. I got to watch Koss a little bit. I've actually had a little chat online with Koss. He said his performance on Saturday was a bit poor by his standards.
Yeah,
we'll get into that as well, guys. We're going to do a bit of a development pathways discussion at the end of the game. So I think he's still trying to find his feet a little bit. Yeah. But nice. Okay, let's do this segment, guys. We have Stats with Ash. The brother's going to share with us some stats that you guys, some deep diving, some next level stats. Yeah, I'll pass the time to you, Ash.
All right, my boys. All right, so bounce with me here, guys. Bounce with me here. So, obviously, we know we've heard in the comment section quite a bit, one of our worst things in defense. And I thought this is probably one of the wildest stats I've actually seen before because everything I'm hearing, we struggle with, handling people offloading on our team. So, I kind of asked you guys before the break, before the show and that, where do you think we're sitting actually for offloads conceded this season? And this is judging off Fox Sports stats. They've actually got some really cool stats and all that going on in there. So comment in the chat, where do you think we're actually sitting as offloads conceded this season? And who do you reckon is number one for offloads conceded this season? It actually will blow your mind. I'll let everyone get into the chat quickly with that. I'll bounce around a couple of little things as well before I see everyone else. There we go. Last. We got also the third most tackles this season, with being the second best team for missed tackles. So we actually concede, the second less missed tackles per game this season. I like to do my stats per average too, guys. So where do you think they are? I'm seeing all these numbers popping up. Loving this. 10th, 14th. All right. We actually are the best team for holding teams for offloads this season with 6.3 per game. So it's obviously something that I'm guessing after in the final series, Webby has really come down on. And we do still see moments where offloads can kill us, but it's not as bad as what we actually think it is. So that is a really, really good stat. Like that's mental. And then the worst is actually the Melbourne Storm with 10.8 per game. So this is all off Fox stats. The Melbourne Storm are the worst team in the competition right now for conceding offloads. Defensively, they are struggling a little bit at the moment. Their attack is still absolutely amazing, but that is actually really crazy comparatively to what we've actually heard, through the chats. Everyone worries about it because we see it and we're thinking back to that Broncos game where we just conceded so many offloads. That's a really, really cool one for you guys there. Obviously, everyone knows that we are actually the best defensive team in the competition right now, conceding the least amount of points, and we're actually tied first for conceding the least amount of tries this season, which is actually really, really cool to see as well. We are first for one pass hit-ups. And so what that could actually mean is we're actually playing off of Wade Egan a lot more than what we actually expect.
Woo, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a massive one. And also to add that in with us being the most run meters on average. So we're playing off the ruck. That is showing a lot of what our backmen do actually for kick returns and all that sort of stuff. And then our first, second, third tackle, we're rolling down the field really, really nicely. And then actually, if you want to add on top of that, we are actually, I'm pretty sure, was it the second best kick return team in the competition right now? Of course, who do you think's number one for that one? I'll add it to you guys. Chuck it to you guys.
Penrith, I would say.
Of course. You know, those two back to a Penrith are really, really hard to stop, but we're right up there with Penrith, and that's a really cool stat to really give out to you guys. Also, to back up, you know, that one pass hit up out of dummy half, what do you think we're actually at for runs out of dummy half? Where do you think we sit? And this is with a hooker like Wade Egan too, and this one surprised me.
What is a run out of dummy half tick?
And I think this is where maybe this has kind of got a little bit of confusion here with Fox League or whatever. We're actually third last at a dummy half runs. And it doesn't really see that way. I don't know if they check out, you know, Wade Egan playing with the markers, doing all that sort of stuff. But that's a really crazy stat comparatively. The amount of times that we've seen Wado, you know, come out of dummy half and really cause havoc within the A defender and the marker. But I thought that was a really, really cool stat to really throw up there as well, because you could actually look at that the opposite way too, of just how smart Wado is and not overrunning and over taking those chances all the time. He waits until the perfect chance actually comes. So I thought I took it that way, honestly, but I thought that was really, really cool. And the last couple of stats I really want to chuck out to you guys. We are the most kick-heavy team in the competition right now.
Wow.
We're up there with one of the most average kicks meters per game as well with Shawnee. So our actual game is based around kicking game, and defense is where I'm looking at everything with. And we are the fourth best tackle breaking team in the competition right now. Very close to everyone else who think this. Who do you guys think is number one?
Broncos, maybe?
Nah, the Penrith Panthers, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Second, the
What I
Roosters. Oh, bro, it's got to be the Panthers, huh?
Yeah.
Second, the Roosters. Third, the Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah,
That
Sharkies.
is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
And the last one I want to give to you guys too. Where do you actually think we sit right now for completion rate this year in the competition?
85, maybe something like that.
So we're about 81%, and that
pretty
makes us the third best team right now in completion rate, which is massive, which is absolutely massive. I know the two other teams that are above us actually aren't sitting that well on the ladder. I think it's the Raiders and the Tigers. But for us to be completing really high, we're a kick-heavy team. It just shows that where Webby's really putting a lot of thought is into our defense and the way we're turning the games into defense. And then backing on top of that with our attack, we got Wade Egan in there that picks his moments. And, you know, it just adds on top of that with the amount of run meters and kick meters. We put a lot of teams under pressure. And I thought that was a really amazing stat to really give out to you guys. So the big one was the offload one. From everything I've heard and everything I've seen, I would have thought we would have been at least mid-pack or something like that with offloads conceded. But seeing that we're the best team at holding teams to an offload is actually a really promising sign to start the season.
Good signs. And 6 games is a good amount of data too.
100%.
Mate, you should go on Shark Tank, man. You could sell me anything.
Oh,
all those numbers you got.
I can try, especially after the weekend that we had, obviously, you know, it was a little bit of a dour affair. You know, errors is definitely a thing. Actually, I'll chuck you one more because I actually checked it up while we were talking about errors and stuff like that. Where do you actually think we're sitting right now for the amount of errors we actually have in the competition?
I'd say least top 5 least maybe overall.
Okay, where do you got Fanatics? What do you reckon?
I would say 6, around top 6.
So we're 14th. So we are the 4th best team. Obviously because of the completion rate.
Yep.
But a lot of times also they actually count last tackle, we drop the ball, last tackle, that sort of stuff. We're actually, one of the better teams for errors in the competition right now. And so we need to turn these error down 100%. But guys, we are growing into such a great team. And, comparatively to the Panthers, the Panthers right now are the 4th worst team for errors conceded right now. I didn't know anyone really knew that. Yeah. But the best thing about the Panthers is they hold in together and they trust and back their game plan. I think that's what we're showing with the boys this year. So that's a little bit more positivity to you guys for what we're looking at this year and where we could be going towards.
Awesome, man. Honestly, if you guys have a business, get this man on your team. That just makes me so good. That gets me so good. Fanatics, what's your interpretation of that? How does that make you feel about where we're at?
It makes me feel like, we're in a good position right now, and we're generally a team that don't usually, in regards to the stats, we're generally not really up there. We're usually down the bottom. So, there's something like I just can't, get it through that my mind that we actually so high up on the stats in terms of those those areas of the game. So yeah, look, I absolutely feel that it's great that we're in those areas, and we're pretty high in those areas as well. So that's a very good sign for a good season. To have a good season ahead. So to finish the season pretty well. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it means a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah,
It shows a lot of where we're at too. Like, I think what I've missed out on one of them, where it was that we actually are the third most tackle team in the competition. So we make the third most tackles in the competition right now, and we're the second best team for missed tackles, only conceding 28 on average a game. The worst is the Titans with 38, so a complete 10 more missed tackles in a game.
Wow.
So we actually tackle the third most in the competition, which is more than the Panthers in that from memory when I did see these stats. And we're actually, one of the better teams for not giving away missed tackles, which is a really big stat for us as well to add on top of everything. So this is not me just cherry picking stats either. These are all the good stats and all the worst stats. Missed tackles is one of the worst stats. Obviously, errors is one of the worst stats. We're actually sitting really, really well. And especially when we've played teams like the Melbourne Storm already, the Sharkies, stuff like that. So we're actually sitting in a really good position.
Oh, I love it, man. Hey, guys, and yeah, loving the work Ash is doing, and I know everyone in the chat really appreciates it. Thanks everyone for sharing, and mate, just honestly, just really gives us a bit of a. And it's 6 rounds. It's not like round 1 data. This is we have one good game. This is like a good chunk of data.
Yeah,
I think it's really reflects really well. I really like what Josh Hill was saying here, that we are now a system team like Penrith.
Yep.
We will be fine with people stepping in now. Yeah, and it's going to show, because the data's telling us, very much so. Yeah, thank you, bro. Very informative. Yes. And Riker's saying, if I can squint, Fanatics looks like a young Stephen Kearney. Is it you? Is he any relation, or looking like a Kearney back in the day, pre Warriors, maybe just rookie days. It's very nice of you, Rockers.
Kenny's always been a looker too, mate. So
yeah. Take that as a compliment, bro.
Good old Mooks.
Yeah. Okay, no, thank you, Ash, and yes, guys, Ash is going to be providing more stats as well, and we'll be running, as you guys know, full credit to the boys after the game on Friday night. Ash will be running that show for us, so it's going to be exciting, man. Thank you, Ash, for that. Let's get into the team list, man. What's your guys? Obviously, the changes is with Jazz out. Let me just try and get a visual while I'm here. Yes, yeah, but yeah, thoughts on the overall team list, Fanatics. I'll just pull it up as you talk.
Yeah. Look, it's pretty much the same side, unchanged. Bearing Jazz out. Yeah, look, it's a very good team there. I like the looks of who were named there, and just looking at their chance fullback, Dillon, Berry in centres, RTS, Montoya, so with Mitch Barnett prop, Jackson Ford, Kirk Capel, and Tohu Harris, and the bench is pretty strong as well with Tom Arley and Jacob Laven getting another opportunity. It's great to see, and Adam Pompey in the 17, which is really interesting. Very interesting to see Adam Pompey there named in the 17. Zion Mo, 18th man. Now, I don't know what you guys reckon, whether Zion Mo will actually get a debut this week. Will he be a late inclusion onto the bench to make his debut, or what?
I think so. Yeah,
I have a feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I have a little feeling, bro. Like, running like Bomps, unless we're going to be, Bomps is going to be our new makeshift front rower. Then post-contact meters from the big man in the middle. I honestly think that maybe Webby's just holding out, and so it's not a crazy amount of hype around it just at the moment, and keep it in-house. And then when we come close to the game, Webby's done it for that many times this season that we can't really trust a lot of what's going on there until 24 hours. But I love that call. What do you think, Fanatics? Do you like Zion as coming into the side? What are your thoughts about Zion right now?
Yeah, I'd love to see Zion make his debut. I was hoping he'd make his debut last week. But I think with Pompey in the 17, I think Pompey will probably drop off, and I think Zion will make his debut off the bench here. So, and I'd love to see it, because he's a great talent, and there's pretty a lot of bit of hype around him with the juniors, how he goes in the juniors, but it'd be good to see how he goes in the first grade team as well. So I can see him coming into this side. Actually, can see him make his debut this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's enough cover in terms of. Look, I think AFB and the like will still play big minutes. I think I think overall, we'll pretty much have the support to help him out. So I think it's time for him. I think Webby does this to organise, the family coming in to present the debut jersey. They don't leave a bit of mystique for the fans, but really with that 24-hour cutoff, Pompey will drop to 18th, and he'll be in the 17. I feel.
Unless there's an underlying injury rolling in with, Rog or Rocco, I wouldn't really expect, Bomps to be in that 17 role. It just doesn't look right off our bench.
Did you guys know why Jacko Ford came off 5 minutes towards the end of the game? Any knowledge on it?
No, there was a couple of little ones that we didn't really get it, kind of a read on. Like Shawnee apparently was tight in training this week as well, but is expected to play. Yeah. He kind of picked it up in the game. You notice, I think it was off his running in his try or whatever. You kind of noticed a little bit of it. I think that was that last week anyway? But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't really much talk around that at all.
Okay, yeah, just sort of, just thought that'd be interesting. But overall thoughts on the squad in general? Everyone's happy. It's Mitch Barnett's 150th.
Love it.
Yeah. I know it's against the Dragons. I feel a little bit more confident that our bench will be, the whole team will be pretty good. Is there any areas of concern? Like, is there performances from some players for you, Fanatics, that you're getting a bit frustrated with or you're disappointed with?
I am getting a little bit frustrated with Jackson Ford. He's had some games where he's been great, he's been awesome, and then he's had some games where he's made a few too many mistakes, which you generally can't do in footy in general. It can happen, but you can't do it too often. You can't do it too often because it puts your team under pressure. But I think only Jackson Ford really that's maybe a player that's probably needs to sort out his mistakes. But look, Jackson Ford, I really love Jackson Ford. I think he's a very good player. But he does have some moments. He does have some moments where he can make the odd mistake or give away penalties. So, hopefully this week, against the Dragons, it's his former side there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can have a good one.
Anyone for you, Ash, that you could think of?
At the moment, no. Like, obviously, we don't want the 13 errors of last week to put us on the back foot. Especially, the Dragons coming in, they haven't been outstanding. They haven't been really, really bad as what people were really expecting. They've surprised a couple of teams here and there and that. But, they're still an NRL team, and we can't, concede a ton of errors and put ourselves on the back foot, because this is honestly one of those games where we really need to show out our full game plan and how we're actually going to run and really, put these sort of teams to the sword and really put a scoreline on these sort of boys there. But overall, 1 to 13 is incredible. Like, I think this is one of our, obviously, the same as last week, one of our strongest starting 13s. Just off the bench, obviously, is, when we're running Zion, when we're running Laban, when we're running Ale, it is fairly inexperienced, but I'm sure, Ale was amazing last week and the week before that as well. I feel like he's growing every game, so it's good to have him there. Jacob Laban, is sort of kind of the thing I may have wanted to touch on a little bit earlier too. Webby seems to have trusted him in some really big moments of last week's game. He didn't bring him off. I'm pretty sure he played a little bit of that golden point as well. So he played for a lot of big moments, and Webby trusted in him to do that. So that's a big tick for him. Especially, a lot of the more experienced coaches, you saw the Raiders and Titans, they just switch between a lot of players to bring them off and try to give them the best look as possible. Webby goes, Laban, I trust you. You can go out there the first part of the, golden point, and he did really well. So overall, I think it's a great team. I'm excited if Zion gets a shot. I'm so excited to see him, against first grade competition. To see if he's a big tackle buster as what he is in, New South Wales Cup and all that. But obviously, Mitch Barnett's 150th game. Like, let's get him a good win and, propel him to that more of that origin talk, because I think he's doing amazing this year, and it's so good that people are recognising him at the moment.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Thank you, Josh Hill as well. Middle three will have huge minutes this week and probably be split, have two on at a time. Yeah, I think there will be I thought now just a quick thought on. Oh, actually, someone else said it. Yeah, it's a big ticket for the Dragons to prove themselves, to expect a hard sold out game. Yeah, very good call, Tay. Someone, I think, if you guys are asking the question about Kalani going, someone did put in the chat earlier that he's not actually in the top 30. Is that correct? Anyone know anything about
I
that?
would have to just double check that.
Oh,
but
sorry.
That's a really good tool.
From the comment I remember was that he has to have 10 games first before he can be accessed.
That's a top 30 problem. It's
Okay.
the same with Harrison Edwards at the Bulldogs, who I would have thought was in the top 30, but yeah, unable to play until 10 games in.
So would we have seen Kalani going potentially?
Possibly, with the more experience and more like the game style of what he has is very much like a fill gap type of player. But it is also good to see, Zion get an opportunity, especially one of our players that a lot of people are really, really looking forward to watching and seeing what he is at the moment.
I think so too. You would agree with that, Fanatics?
Yeah, I agree, because I watched a bit of him in the New South Wales Cup team and the other grades he played for. So yeah, big fan of him, massive fan of Zion May. He's a very good young talent coming through the system, through the Warriors system there, and yeah, really excited to see whether he makes his debut this week, which I'm really hoping for.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and like I feel so like after Jash's comments about Webby trusting Labour in a big moment, I just trust anyone that comes on now. I think overall, I mean, there might have been some games where some of our depth came on. I think of Ali maybe last year off the drop off the Broncos game, off the kickoff. Like, but in general, the guys have been really kind of decent. Leotel, I remember his debut at Canberra was massive.
Yep.
There's just been some really good games by all of them. And we'll get into pathways too, and maybe we can tie that all in at the end. But yeah, really cool. Guys, we're going to get into Warriors Dragons combined 17, but we do have 98 people. Thank you very much. We got 52 in there from wahsup TV. I think we're around 20 likes. If we can get that up to 30,
that'd be awesome.
Appreciate that. We'd love to get up to 30. And I know Warriors Fanatics is here, so it should be close to 100. He's for the amount of following he's got. So, if we can pull a few of his people over to us, we appreciate that. But no, thank you everyone for coming through. Okay, the rules. Well, not rules. Not like it's a game or anything, but me and Fanatics are going to kind of decide who we're going to pick for each 1 to 17, and then Ash will add in as adjudicator and decide if we do disagree, what's his thoughts. Okay, so let's just pull up this this team list, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Yes.
What do you reckon, guys? All right. Have you got the team list up, Levon?
Yep. Just coming through. I did it. I'm going to sort out some graphics later. I'm just sticking with the basics for now. But me and Ash have got some ideas as to how we're going to do this segment. But yes,
we're going to grow this thing, man. This thing's going to grow. Yep. All right. Quickly, guys. All right. So if you don't know what we're going to be doing here, obviously we're going to go through the teams, 1 to 17, and pick our best players and create the best 17 as possible. Kind of shows out where our strengths really lie against the Dragons and all that sort of stuff. And also, we're going to be going with, the left side winger versus the left side winger. So who's the best left side winger out of both these clubs? So that's the way we're going to look at it. I'll describe it as I go along. And let's go. All right. At fullback, we got Tyrell Sloan versus Chance Nickel-Clockstag. All right, we're going to go Fanatics first. Who would you choose out of that fullback battle there, my brother?
Oh, it's got to be Chance. Chance, man, he's been great since coming back. So, yeah, it's definitely Chance for me. Yep,
100%. Levon, do you accept Chancey as your fullback, or do you like the little explosion of Tyrell Sloan?
I actually like Tyrell Sloan. And I'm interested, just a side note, interested in Flanagan's tactics, because I did a little video, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, they used Travojevic in the line a lot to kind of create a bit of thickness around the marker to kind of deter Egan. And I wonder if because Tyrell's got a lot of speed as well.
Yep.
I wonder if we see him a bit more involved around the play the ball. But I'm definitely going with Chance. I think Chance is the work rate, the work that Chance gets through is just at such a high level. But what's your thoughts, Ash? If we're both off,
Nah, user completely on for me, guys.
Okay.
I'd have to go Chansey over Sloaney. I think Sloaney's still young into his career, so he could definitely grow into a superstar. But Chansey's such a good fullback at the moment, and in some of career best form, other than maybe the Raiders years. So he's looking incredible this year. All right, so we're going to go left side wingers. So off of memory, this would be Marcelo Montoya for us, and he'll be going up against would be Michaeli Ravalawa, if I'm thinking this correctly. So Zach Lomax has been moved into the centres for this game. So he's usually their right side winger. Ravalawa's their left side. I don't know if things changes with Tui Polotu coming into this lineup. So we're going to go Marcelo Montoya versus Michaeli Ravalawa. This is a tough one. Fanatics, who you got?
Oh, man, this one's tough. Yeah, very difficult. I like Michaeli Ravalawa. He's quite a fast winger. He's quite powerful. Montoya is, he gets the work job done there on the field too. So, oh, man.
Would it help, bro, if I was to say to you, the Warriors are signing Michaeli Ravalawa next season? Would he take over Monty's spot? Would you want him in that team on that left side? The work rate from the back ends, the try scoring ability, or do you trust in Monty?
I would say Montoya, yeah.
All right, loving that. Levon, where are you sitting on that one, my brother?
Can I ask you, Master Adjudicator, who in your view would be the better defending centre?
Better defending. This one's really tough. I say Ravalawa definitely has got the big hits in him. He does very similar things to Monty and shoots out of the line quite a bit, as you know the modern day wingers do quite a bit these days. Marcelo can have those ones though where you just go, I don't know what he was thinking, and I don't know what player he was marking up on. Where Ravalawa usually hits something, so they're very, very similar in that end, in my opinion, brother.
I'm gonna go. I want to go Ravalawa. My reasoning for it is I'm really dying for some finishing in terms of I've got RTS on my inside. I want someone who can get to the try line.
Yep.
And I think Ravalawa would probably be the right guy. I know he's got a lot of errors in him. But yeah, I'm just, for the sake of this argument, in terms of what I would want, Montoya for me definitely is better, more the safer, more consistent. But I want some better. And if this pet peeve about Montoya, just hasn't got that class finishing like Dallin. Ravalawa, I know he'll probably get a bit more finishing for mine. Yeah.
All right. So if I had to choose out of those two guys, I would honestly sway just, and this is only just, I think this one's really, really close, would be Ravalawa's way. Only because of the more of the attacking side. He's the bigger body, more of the, Monty runs hard, hits through the line hard, all that sort of stuff. But Ravalawa's just got that weight behind him. He's a little bit more stocky winger. When he gets into the corner, he does finish within the corner a lot more, in my eyes, than what Monty does these days. But very, very, very close. Switching it up. Did you want to touch on Paddy G's comment here? Dude, let me bring it up.
Can you
Shout out to Paddy, bro. Love Paddy G, right? I love you, mate. Awesome guy. But I know you're a Manly fan, and we'll go about this. But I'll be completely honest, right? And I'll take my Warriors bias hat off. So, the way the game's going, it's a penalty no matter what, right? It is what it is. But I have always been the type that I don't want to see effort go out of the game. And I feel sorry for Aloye, which is exactly why I felt sorry. And I would have defended my heart out with Freddie Lussick the other week as well, breaking Ilias's leg. Sometimes accidents happen in the game, and it just is what it is. We can't really do much about that. But it has been a penalty, and it will always be a penalty no matter what. And honestly, they would not have looked at that if Shawnee did not hold his leg in that moment.
True.
And I'll be 100% on that, because that ball was bouncing out. Not one look from that referee was going to come our way, especially after the game. If we want to talk about some things going on in that game, Paddy, we're going to this is a Warriors channel right here, baby. You just rolled into this Warriors stuff. You saw the Tommy Turbo drop ball that did not get called in that game. There was a couple of moments like that was no call, but had to be Tohu Harris right in the middle of the goal there, and they had to have a call from maybe someone upstairs to pick that one up because that was a very late call there. But I love you, Paddy. You're actually an amazing content creator and all that, but it's so good to see you. Guys, what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts? I want to see what you guys think of that.
Actually, Fanatics, you go, brother. You go.
So yeah, my thoughts on the whole penalty decision. Yeah, well, look, I thought it was a penalty all day long. You know, I can understand there's some Manly fans, you know, that feel like maybe it was a bit harsh in a way, but you know, basically, of what we saw with Freddie Lussick, you know, the NRL just come down on the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing, but you know, you just can't do it. You know, attack a player on the legs there, and you know, he did that. So whether he deserved 1 or 2 weeks, probably not. Nah. But I personally think that it was a penalty, and you know, I can't say it wasn't. So yeah. That's my general thoughts on it.
I think it's similar if you guys follow basketball. If someone goes up for a shot, you can't put your foot underneath their space.
Yeah.
So and for the most part, the majority of media guys and ex-players have said rules are rule. That's just the nature of the game in today's world. It's the same as punters in NFL. If you touch them, you know, it's a penalty. You just got to be way more like clinical about how you attack. I mean, look at most kick pressure on a fifth tackle. You're always going to try and push for the ribs or the arm and try and push them off their spot. That's pretty much all you can do, you know. So that's where I stand as well. Penalty, but yes, if SJ didn't go down and sell it like he was at WWE, you know, he was selling it like the Undertaker just chokeslammed him and tombstoned him. You know, he was.
But I would say, unfortunately, that's only come into the game, and I would always, you know, tee it up to is because of, you know, it being not called in the first place. And like, you know, if that, honestly, if Shawnee got up and he didn't hold his leg or anything like that, it wouldn't have been called a penalty at all. And I honestly do believe that. So for me, it just is what it is. We've seen Mitchell Moses flop around everywhere, get penalties that way. It happens in the game, but it's only because if he doesn't do that, it's not going to get looked at. It's not going to get called. The referee is just going to totally miss it, especially on a couple of moments in our game as well, where things weren't going our way as way we're expecting it. But I think we all agree. We love Paddy G and we love his content and all that. And as he said here before, he's only staring for good content.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Devil's advocate. We love it. I love it. We love to see the other side of the argument. Appreciate you, Paddy.
100%. All right. Back to combined 17, guys. I love that little deep dive that we just did there. That was awesome. Yeah. All right. So we're going to the right winger. So as we know, we got the flying mullet on the wing. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. Shout out to one of the boys at work called him Dallin. Can't really say his last name properly. So if he's watching this video, you know who you are and comment on this video as well. And also we got Christian Tuipulotu. So Christian, obviously coming over from the Manly Seagulls, I rate him as a winger. I think he's a decent winger, very much of like the not To'o, but like a To'o from Wish. So where do you guys sit at this battle here? Who do you choose, the flying mullet or To'o from Wish?
Definitely Dallin for me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any argument. Hey, there's no argument there. Yep. Amazing winger, Dallin. All right, so we're going with centers now. I think, you know, we may as well, we picked on that right center, so we're going to go back to that right wing. We're going back to that right center. So we're going to go Rocco Berry. And judging by this team list, I'm thinking Zach Lomax is going to be on his preferred side of center, which is usually that right side of center. So who would you go, Rocco Berry or Zach Lomax? And this is taken into account. He's having an amazing season in that winger position. We haven't seen him much at center this year. What is he going to look like at center? What's your choice? Who are you going to pick? Go on, Fanatics.
I'm a Rocco all day long. I've always been a Rocco all day long. Everyone should know by now I'm a day one Berry fan. So, Rocco Berry for me is pretty straightforward for me.
From the OG himself.
Yeah, definitely Rocco Berry. Yeah, for sure.
Levon, where you sitting?
I'm just got a question, Master Adjudicator. I know Lomax. Yeah, no, I just can't because he's had a good wing season.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to stick with Berry as well. Yes.
All right. I like it. I've been liking it a lot what Zach Lomax is doing this season. I think he's got a ton of potential, but all the little things that Rocco's doing this year, that's the key areas in rugby league, and I'm loving it at the moment. So good to see Rocco getting picked there. Now, moving over to the other side, we got Roger Tuivasa Schick, the man, the myth, the legend, the Dally M winner. Let's just add that in there, you know what I mean? Just to add that. I know you guys are thinking about this run really, really hard. And Moses Sully, so the big boy, that big centre on the other side of the field. Who would you choose out of those two boys there? Fanatics.
RTS. Roger.
RTS?
Definitely RTS. But, he's still sort of, getting into that rhythm of playing in that position. So, Moses Sully, he's not a bad player. He's definitely not a bad player at all. And, he's definitely got the size on him as well. So, but I'll probably go with RTS there for himself.
Jump in, Levon.
I'm going to go... How's Sully... I haven't watched much Dragons, but how's Sully tracking this year? Because there's a genuine argument. Like, I think of his overall centre package. And we're talking centre here, guys. Centre for centre.
Yeah.
Who can break open a game at the moment, and who's in a kind of a system that's accessing and using their strengths the way they are.
Yep.
Master Adjudicator, how is Sully tracking this season?
Very nicely, honestly. I think he's having one of his most consistent years out of all these years and that. I think he's definitely growing into the game. He's trying to hone down on his errors and stuff like that. Defensively, he's a big body. He can move well. So I think he's tracking really, really, really well this season. Majority of the Dragons attack does go down that right side with Zach Lomax and Jackie Bird. That used to be there, who was there, and he's now injured. So in sample size we've seen, Sully's getting through a ton of work. He's a big, strong body, breaks tackles. But yeah, it's somewhat very similar to what Roger is at the moment. In sparing moments, you're seeing little glimpses of special, but you don't see it a lot.
I'm probably going to use, and I know this is probably simplifying it. Who has more tries at the moment?
I would say Rog off the top of my head, my man. I'm going to say.
Okay.
Let me have a look quickly.
I mean, Roger will probably have him in yardage as well.
Yeah, Roger will have him in yardage.
Okay, yeah. I want to go Sully here. I kind of devil's advocate, but based on experience, I'm just gonna go Sully.
You're gonna go Sully?
Actually, I haven't even watched them, so what am I talking about? I'm just guessing, but I got to go Rog. But if I'm just trying to get some information off the Master Adjudicator.
All right.
What's your thoughts, Master Adjudicator? Are we both wrong, or what do you think?
I'm currently looking at the amount of tries both these boys have this season, and I was correct. So we got Roger with 2 tries. Moses Sully yet to score a try this season. Maybe this could be the game. I'm hoping not. But if we're going off stats here, Roger defensively 81% to actually Sully 87%. So a fair year there, only missing 6 tackles out of 42. Roger making more tackles, missing more with 13. Tackle breaks is more on Roger's side with the footwork. Line breaks is more on Roger's side. And try assists, they are very even apiece.
Roger probably beats him on line breaks and overall impact. Yeah.
Yep. And average run meters is Roger. Everything's swaying Roger other than defensively.
Yep. I'm Roger.
100%. We're going to go Roger. You know how I feel about Roger this year. I was choosing him out of every centre in the competition.
Wasn't Sully the one that went on holiday with AFB and talked sweet nothings into his ear?
Probably, bro. They're boys. They're all boys from there. Monica Watu, all those boys there. Shout out to those boys out there.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. So as we do the halves, guys, if you know, we just pick the best halves and make the best combination as possible. So out of the 4 here, you get to choose your best combination, 7 and 6. We're going to start with you, Fanatics. We got Sean Johnson, Tamade Martin, Ben Hunt, or Kyle Flanagan. Who's your dream halves pairing out of these 2 teams here?
Sean Johnson.
Yep.
Definitely. And
you can run Benny at the 6 if you want to.
Ooh.
Or you can run Benny at the 7, Shawnee at the 6. Or you can run Tamade there. I don't know.
I'll go Sean 7, halfback. And, I'll go Ben Hunt.
I like that. I like that. Levon.
Different. Yeah, Ben Hunt. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
Levon.
going, kind of going out of the box here. I'm going Flanagan into Mighty. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
I'm
god.
joking. Nah, it definitely
Oh my
is.
god.
It's definitely Sean Johnson and Ben Hunt. Imagine those two versus Tamati and Flanagan. They'll destroy them.
All I'm gonna say, bro, you gave me more of a heart attack than like our game last week.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
just kidding, man. Yeah, it's definitely Sean. I would probably go. Yeah, I'd probably actually go with what Jacko here is saying. I'd go Sean at the 7.
Mm,
Use Ben Hunt as kind of a loose, kind of 5'8",
yeah.
work short sides, all that. But to see them work together would be a thing of beauty, I reckon.
It would be pretty interesting. Yeah, I would agree. I feel like, Benny does a lot of his best at the dummy and go, that sort of thing. But he's also got that sneaky kicking game in him, like, the 40-20s and that. And, shout out to the mighty Ginge over here, till
Mighty
Hunt
Ginge,
drops the ball. Can we get over Benny Hunt dropping the ball, please? Because unfortunately it happens way too often. I actually remember, I'll do a quick story with this one, guys. I think it was one of the first Magic Round games we went to. Obviously, we're in the bleachers at the first time and that. I had Dragons fans behind us, and obviously this is when the Warriors were so up and down, right? So we started off winning the game. I'm cheering. I'm going hectic. Then the boys behind us, the Dragons started to get a lead on us, and then bang, they got into a lead. The Dragons fans start chirping behind us and say the Warriors are shit, all this and that, we're killing them and that. And of course, I'm pretty sure that was the game. Kenny Mamalo broke their hearts in the corner. I think we ran like Tohu and that and all that. And I've turned around. I think at that moment, Benny Hunt off a dropout or a kickoff dropped the ball, and it changed the game completely. And I turned around, I'm like, Benny does what Benny does, isn't it? So, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. Just out of interest, again, the 5/8 battle, Tamita versus Flanagan. Who wins that one? On current form, everything.
In my opinion, my humble opinion, I would choose Tamate. More so of like, from what I've seen of Tamate, he's very much a conventional 6. From what I've seen out of Kyle Flanagan, still to me looks like a halfback playing 6. And there's the slight differences between your half and 6 usually. And, you can have a 6 that looks a lot like a halfback at times and all that sort of stuff. But Tamate is like really growing on me a lot more as I've seen him in our 6 jersey, the way he bounces around. He'll like, turn, players back inside. He'll look for different looks. Where Cole's very up and down, he'll run a set play. He's not very much off the cuff. But I do have love for Cole Flanagan as well. As you know, Levon, I have that saying. I love Cole Flanagan.
Yeah,
but Tamate Martin.
No, I get it.
All right, moving on to the front rowers. So starting off with probably the tightest battle here. Just joking. So we got Adam Fanua-Blake versus Francis Molo. Where you guys are going with this one, Fanatics? I think this is going to be a quick one.
Oh, Adam Fanua-Blake all day, every day. Yeah, pretty easy one there for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same for me. Yep, same for me.
All right, we'll keep moving on. Wade Egan versus Jacob Little. All right, this is actually a decent one, but I know where you guys are going to sit, but I like Jacob Little a little bit. So where do you sit on this, Fanatics?
Yeah, look, Wade Egan for me. It's definitely Wade Egan. Just based on form at the moment, how good he's been playing. So yeah, it's definitely Wade for me.
Levon?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of Little. But yeah, I'm just Wade Egan all day for me. But yeah, what's your thoughts, Ash, on Little? Are we missing something here?
I actually really do enjoy Little's work. Like his biggest drawback to start of his career was injuries. Like he would always be in and out, very much like what Wado was when he first came to us and all that. You can see the potential with Little, and I think the Dragons look better with Little at that 9. So I think he's a great player. He plays off the cuff really well. Like he's momentum through the ruck. He gets the forwards on the front foot. And that's a very key thing for a, attacking hooker and that. I think he gets through his work really well. He just needs to stay on a football field. And I think that's all he needs to focus on these days, stay healthy. Just like Wado's trying to stay healthy these days too. But if we're talking about both these boys here, you got one that's in talk at the moment for Smokey of Origin and one that's still trying to like build his career at the moment at the Dragons. So yeah, you got to go Wado there.
Just quickly, Tans, I think you might be about 5 or 10 minutes behind. But you can stay in your thing. I'm reading your comments and you're talking about Barry at the moment. So if do your thing. But I'll just make sure that I remember that you're probably about 5-10 minutes behind. Okay.
I'm going to say, like, in about 5 or 10 minutes' time, we're going to see a speed up to where we're at now.
Yeah.
Love
Someone
you,
in the chat, can you
Tans.
tell Tans to speed up?
Tans is awesome. Love you,
Yeah.
Tans. Appreciate ya. All right, so next front rower battle, and this one for me kind of is similar to Adam Fanor Blake versus Molo, but I really do see what you think. If you guys have seen a lot of Harm Saleh and this and that, but who would you go at the moment, Mitch Barnett or Harm Saleh? Fanatics, where you at?
Barnett, yeah, Mitchell Barnett. Harm Saleh's, I think he's a pretty solid player. He definitely is a solid player. But yeah, I think Barnett, based on his experience and what he brings to the table defensively as well, which is a key. It's important to the side. So definitely Barnett.
Love that, Levon.
Yeah, Barnett for me. I'm sure Sally's a good player. But if we're talking origins for Barnett, I mean, that's where we've got to compare it to at the moment, and he's on another level.
Yeah.
Pretty much after that game, he's just really on another level.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but there's a couple of players here that are like a little bit of a miss. And I don't know what Flanagan's sort of thinking at the moment. We'll talk a little bit later, but Harm Saleh starting over Blake Laurie or Jack de Bellin's a very interesting call. And I like it in a way, like Harm Saleh's a talented player, but yeah, very interesting. Moving on. So our left side back rowers. So currently at the moment, it switches around because of Luciano Leilua. So when Luciano Leilua gets out of this lineup, I'm guessing from the start of the season, Jaden Sewer started on that left side back rower. So we're going to go Jaden Sewer versus Jackson forward. And I think this one's a really tough one because I rate Jaden Sewer highly. Fanatics, where do you rate Jaden Sewer at the moment? Who would you choose, Jacko or Jaden Sewer?
I do rate Jaden Sewer very highly. I do. It's a bit hard, this one. Yeah, look, Jackson Ford. Jackson Ford, yeah, he's had some games where he's been great, and he's had some games where he's been a bit mixed. So, I might go with Jaden Sewer actually.
Yeah,
this might be a bit of a controversial one, but I'm going to go with Jaden Sewer.
Yep, Levon, where you at?
I was going to go Sewer, and then Fanatics, so I tried the other side for a little bit.
Yeah.
What I've seen of Sewer, he's a really attacking threat type, and has a great line. I've got a lot of respect for him on both sides of the ball. The only probably argument for Jacko is his overall work rate. Does he outwork Sewer? Probably if you looked at the numbers,
100%.
he probably does on total. I mean, I actually think our whole front line in terms of back rowers included, they're just a massive work, more than probably what the likes of a Sewer could probably do. So I'll probably go with Jacko forward on that argument.
Yep.
You're probably looking at Sewer as a more attacking type back rower.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll stick with Jacko just for the sake of argument and put you in a pickle.
No, I love it. I love the little pickle, but you guys are going to see how much I do actually love Jacko. Jaden Sewer, sorry. I was going to say Jacko to surprise you guys, but no. Jaden Sewer, I rate highly. Like, I've always thought he's always been around that origin sort of talk and stuff. He's had that opportunity before, and I think the only thing that's ever held him back from that is usually suspension, and he's a lot of times it is his consistency and work rate. When he has his best games, he is a really, really tough edge back roller to handle. And I think I've got a little bit of a soft spot because my missus' big brother actually played with him in Samoa, Queensland, and had such big raps over him. And when my missus' big brother says something about someone, like that's a massive thing to take account of. So, but out of the two players, obviously Jacko's definitely got the higher work rate in that. But if you want an impact player that's going to change a game, Jaden Sewer is one of those type of players with his big hits. He just runs full pelt. He's an amazing player like that. So at the moment, I'm choosing Jaden Sewer, and I'm sorry, I'm a Warriors fan. I know that, but Jaden Sewer, I think I'm going to sway towards. Moving on.
Just quickly, until we thank you for this feedback. We will probably, I reckon instead of highlight to watch out from each player. I think we're kind of doing that, but this is just something fun. But we will add that as feedback. Appreciate that.
Just I like that.
Yep.
We love feedback here, guys. Make sure you keep giving us feedback.
We appreciate that. But yeah, continue on, brother.
100%. Thank you, Webby, our coach. It's good to see the coach
The
watching the
inter-Webby.
show. Love that. Love that. All right, moving on. So our right side edge back roller, obviously we got our man Kate Wah, Mr. Kurt Kate Wah. And moving to the other side now is Raymond Faitala Mariner. And this is just judging on, early on the season when they had Luciano Leilua. When Luch is in that lineup, that moves the opposite way. When Luch is out of that lineup, Jaden goes to the left, Faitala Mariner goes to the right. So who would you choose? Kurt Capewell or Raymond Faitala Mariner? We're going with you first, Mr. Fanatic.
Look, I really love Raymond Faitala Mariner. I think he's a very good player, and he's a good. When he runs the ball, he's pretty very strong runner of the ball.
Yep.
Kurt Capewell, he's more of the hard worker. I think he's more of the hard worker defensively as well. So,
yep.
Look, I'll probably say I'll go Kurt Capewell just over Raymond Faitala Mariner, but he isn't far away from Faitala Mariner. So I'll probably go Kurt Capewell based on the hard work and experience that he brings as well. So
Levon, where you at, brother?
Well, I'm with Kurt Cape very well. Very well. He's a well of knowledge. Faitala Mariner, for whatever reason, and maybe you can speak on it, Ash, but just I suppose out of interest, would these two be about the same age?
Oh, just look that up for you right now, my man. I'm guessing around about that's. Was it Raymond's about 32 from last time when we had rumors that we're going to get him? But all right, let me check.
I would actually I'm definitely going to go Capewell because I think overall work rate and a lot of mentioning here saying Pinellas saying his work, he does the extras. There is an argument for Faitala Mariner, but I haven't seen enough from him to say he really threatens as an edge back row. I know he's played a lot of lock at Canterbury.
Yep.
I'm one in the vein of Capewell in this situation.
Yeah, to answer your question before, my bro, they are actually bang on the same age. So they're both 30 years old, both born in 1993. And they're so close to actually being born on the same day. The 12th for Capewell and Raymond Faitala Mariner, 26th of July.
I could read the lines on the forehead. I knew they were both the same age. No.
That is hectic. Well, if you're looking at their foreheads at the moment, I think both these boys are so weathered as players. You'd say they're probably about 50 odd in rugby league years. So, But out of the two, I would probably sway the way of Kurt Capewell more so because of his, his work ethic in the game, his kick chase, his defensive work, and all that. I know he can miss a decent amount of tackles in games and stuff, but I think Raymond has done his best work in past years. He's still trying to get back to those years now. He's doing really well at the Dragons, and I'll give you that. To start the season, I thought the Dragons were using him to great effect, but it has tapered off a little bit with Luciano coming into the squad and not seeing a lot of him at the moment. So I would sway the way of Kurt Capewell, baby.
Yep. Cool. And just quickly, Tarns is up to Littles. Is that where we mentioned that she was behind?
It's probably there.
Tarns has finally caught up to Jacob Little or whatever. So we'll get up to speed soon.
What we'll do is welcome, Tarns. Welcome. I appreciate you always being around. She's a mad supporter, eh? She's awesome. She's awesome.
I love this comment here from Punter. There's I swear there's an Eisenhuth in every team. This is like the NPC mold. This is like your starter character mold in any rugby league game.
I think Tarns is caught up. Hey,
Tarns, how you doing? Welcome to the light. You just been reborn. Thank you. Welcome in.
Yeah.
But I think Punter is 100% right. I think there's one in the Panthers. There's Matt Eisenhuth.
Oh, yeah.
Tom. There was, I think Tom was at the Melbourne Storm previously before this as well. That's why it kind of looked like maybe there's one at Melbourne still. But there's possibly another one at Melbourne. Who knows? So it could be one anywhere. So fair call there. But obviously we got to go down to the big battle here.
Yep.
We got the chief himself, Tohu Harris, Mr. The zombie of Mount Smart, as Surly Sports calls him. Shout out. And also Tom Eisenhuth, probably, looks like a zombie as well and gets through a ton of work rate. But who are you going here, guys? I think this one should be very straightforward. Fanatics, where you at?
Yep, definitely Tohu Harris. Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm with with Fanatics, Tohu as well.
100%. All right. Moving on to the bench. So as we do our bench, guys, like we say pretty much every show and all that, it's very similar to our halves and that. We actually, out of these 4 players on either side, we pick our best 4 players to create our best bench possible. So the players you get to pick from, guys, to create your best bench possible out of these 2 lineups is Chanel Harris-Tavita, Tom Ale, Jacob Laban, and Adam Pompey. On the other side, Jesse Marshke, Blake Laurie, Jack DeBellin, and an old warrior, Ben Murdoch-Masula. Where are you guys sitting? Fanatics, who's your best 4 players you want to create the best bench possible out of these 2 teams?
Okay, so I gone Chanel.
Yep.
Harris
Love it.
Tavita. I'm going to go with Jack DeBellin.
Love that.
Yep.
We'll go Tom Ale.
Yep, nice.
And is it one more spot? Is it one more
There's
spot?
one more spot, my man.
One more spot.
Do you want me to throw a curveball for you? Do you want Zion in the argument now? Do you want Zion in this argument, or do you want to leave him out?
Oh.
Or would you go Ben over him? It's a little curveball.
I will probably go. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll go with Zion.
You go Zion? Yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit easier if we chuck Zion in there over Adam Pompey, because you know, you're not going to run a center winger too much off the bench unless you want utility value. But Levon, where are you sitting at? I'll give you Zion as well, mate. So it's even the playing field.
Blake Laurie for me. Just start off with him. I'd build a bench. I rate him as a really good player.
Yeah.
Jack under the bed, DeBellin.
Under the bed.
Jack hiding DeBellin. He's good too, and he's still in good form. Yeah, and then I'd actually go Tom Ale as those would be my 3 guys. I reckon Tom. I know Mayu's we'll hopefully get a look at it. But I think where Tom is at currently, he's looking really solid. And then Chanel, obviously my master utility. I'm just so happy with how he's performing. He's definitely that utility for me. Yeah,
I think I actually made Fanatics pick 5 there. I'm pretty sure you guys were very similar. Did you have Jack DeBellin as well, Fanatics, in that? You had Laurie and DeBellin, eh?
I had DeBellin, the Laurie, yep.
Yep, sweet. All right, I would go very similar. Like mine would be, Chanel, Laurie, Jack DeBellin, and Tom Ale. I think that's probably the best bench you can really get in here. I think Zion's incredible as well. Like if you were to drop one of those other boys like him over Murdoch, it's kind of either way. But shout out to Jesse Marshke. I like him as a player as well. He played a lot of 6 for the Bears. I think he broke our hearts last year in New South Wales Cup and that. He had a ball of a game. He was incredible.
Oh yeah.
So that Bears team is just. Oh, incredible. But awesome. That's our combined 17. I didn't really count how many Warriors we had in that, but I'm sure that we had a ton of Warriors in that one.
Yeah.
A few. Yep.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Ash. Thank you for everyone in the chat for participating. We are at 97 people on all platforms. If you are in, I think we're sitting around 31 followers, 31 likes on YouTube. If you guys are in there, can we get it up to 40, please? We appreciate that. And same 47 on Twitter. If you can give us a repost, share it, and populate it, we appreciate that. And we've got our man Fanatics on here. We really appreciate him coming in, spending some time with us, and sharing his thoughts. As always, great little segment there. I think. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, we'll continue to add those things. I think we're coming now, and it's coming quick and fast. I mean, like literally 3 days until the next game. Short turnaround. And I know the guys 90 minutes be banged up. Traveling away, short week is pretty much literally I'm imagining just a recovery week.
Yep.
Get the recovery in, maybe do a few sessions, and you're on the plane again. So, where are you guys sitting, Fanatics, in terms of preparation and overall, how will the game go for you in your view?
Yeah, look, in regards to preparation, it's obviously another flight over to Australia there, to Sydney. I think the boys probably travel 1 day before or 2 days before. Look, generally on this game, look, I feel really confident the way we're going to go about this one this week. We're going to, bounce back from that draw. we didn't play too well to start the game, and we can't afford to start bad like that again. So for me, look, generally speaking, like pretty confident with the team, with what we've got at the moment and what we named this week, and I feel like we've definitely got the better squad in general over the Dragons, and that's no disrespect to the Dragons, but I feel like we really should be able to go over there and get the win. I know our record over the Dragons over the past couple of years hasn't been great, but we did win over there last year, so we should take a bit of confidence out of that one that we went over there last year and beat the Dragons. But I think the Dragons, they can be competitive, but I feel like we probably should have enough in the tank to get over the line and get the results. So hopefully that golden point didn't take a lot out of us physically. Hopefully we prepped pretty well. The body's, feeling much better because obviously golden point, definitely takes a lot out of you, as well as, coming back from 16-0 down as well. So it's a bit of bit of energy levels there. But generally speaking, I think we will win this game. I do feel like the Warriors will win. I'll go 32 points to 10. Yeah, I feel really confident, actually.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I feel pretty confident we can get a 13+ win this week. Yeah, so I know last time we were over in Australia and Sydney, we smacked the Bunnies there 34-6. So I feel like we can do something similar, put on a similar performance.
Yeah, actually, is it a similar just a situation of like despite a draw and a result and a tough opponent, we're just too good for the likes of the Dragons, or is there other Dragons on the up and coming? I mean, they've had some success. I mean, they beat Manly dominantly at home. They've beaten the Tigers. Are they on a run, and how confident are they?
Yeah, they're fairly confident, mate. Like, I think a lot of what they're dealing with at the moment is like they're trying to learn Flanagan's system. They're trying to put that into place. You're seeing moments where that's really falling into place and stuff like that. But as I kind of touched on before, like, just looking at this team list, there's some interesting calls. Obviously, Zach Lomax has absolutely killed it on the wing to start the season, and he's been majority of their attacking threat, and mostly from kicks. So very similar to us. Like, I see a lot of like the tries from the Dragons, obviously coming from those crossfield bombs. And Zach Lomax is one of those type of players that works really, really hard to get in and contest those kicks. Him from that center, and also, he does a lot of big work from the back end. He's got a really strong upper body. He can break tackles and stuff. Him back at center really takes away a lot of the good looks that I actually see him in for the Dragons coming up against us. I think he's a great center and this and that and all that, but like, I'm thinking more of, the work out of the back end that he did previously, during the last couple of games and that. They get him in a lot better spots when he's at the winger position. And moving him to center, I don't know if that puts the Dragons at a little bit of a deficit, especially bringing like Tui Pelotu. I love him as a winger and all that, but he's had a couple of errors in his game. He's come over to Manly in the trials. He had a couple of errors. Didn't look absolutely amazing is what, he actually looked better to me in that Manly system comparatively to this Dragon system of the limited time I've seen him in there. So whether we just, rain bombs on them and really put them on the back foot, I think that's where our game plan really like hurts a team like the Dragons, especially if you're seeing from last year. I think, a lot of players, like they got Faitala Mariners, Tom Eisenhuth, their work rate type of players, Blake Laurie, Jack DeBella and all that sort of stuff. But I'm sure that when you get them on the back foot, they really struggle to kind of get their attack humming off the back foot. That Manly game, Manly really hurt themselves a lot in that game. So a lot of it does actually come down to us fixing up a lot of the problems of last week and coming into this game. And that's where we're going to see a lot of points come our way very much late in the game. I do expect it. I think there's going to be a tussle for the first, 10, 20, 30. But then I kind of see us pulling away, especially with them dropping out a gun to a different position comparatively what they have been to start the season.
Yeah, good point. Good call here is Joshua Hill. Bomb let Ravalawa every set will make mistakes. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely points in there. I mean, you just can't take 20 bombs and not expect you'll drop a few, and especially his record. So, and Josh Tan staying in the 10-minute behind. She's just finishing off. You're a legend, Tan. Stay in the fast. We're good with you. Keep doing your thing, but yeah, so look, I'm just my view quickly. I think this is a smash and grab. Go over there, do a job, come home, get the 2 points.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, in RL there's a level to it. Always be prepared for anything. But I just don't see us making that many errors again. And I don't see, like we're talking about our style, and Ash has created some good points on terms of kicking volume, working out of yardage. I can't see them being able to withstand the amount of kicking pressure we want to put on them. And I don't see how they could limit our forward pack with Egan doing his work around. I thought Manly was just super effective at what they do, very strong. They had a resilient tactical, plan. They were the best opponents we've had so far this year.
Yep.
I can't see, even though it looks like a pretty decent, a team that's won a few games. Obviously, Flanagan will have a plan. No doubt, he's a bit of a tactician himself. But I just, at the end of the day, Francis Molo and those Ham Saleh and all those guys, they just can't compete with what we've got happening.
Yeah.
Probably the bench is an area. We might have a few lulls. That's going to happen. Zion and Laban could have a few errors. The young fellas, that's understandable. But overall totality, I'm with you guys as well. So just quickly, we get into a score prediction. Fanatics, where are you sitting at, man?
Yeah, so I've gone with Warriors 30 points to 10. Yeah,
30 points to 10. Yep.
30 points to 10 for me. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Ash?
I'll probably echo very similar. So I'm probably going to go to 28 to 30 to. Yeah, I'll give him 12. I'll be 12? Considerate. Nanad, if you're still in the chat, I'm sorry, brother, but hopefully we smoke your Dragons this weekend.
Yeah, I'll give them two. I'll give them 2 tries. Just maybe, there might be a lull in the game, and we might leak a few, but I think it's going to be a high score, and we should resume what we're doing minus the errors. So, yep. Appreciate you guys checking your chat. Jacko here saying 28-10. Yeah, that's a good score line there, Jacko.
Yeah,
Punter saying 36-6.
That'd be lovely.
I think we're all in the kind of the same vein that we are just class above where these guys are currently at. But yes, thing is, so far we're just going to quickly touch on. We did the Anzac jersey evaluation of pathways. Fanatics, can you just share your thoughts on the Jersey Flag boys' performance and what you've noticed in terms of the overall how pathways are going this year? How are we looking for the future? Any players that you might think that are going to be standouts and come through strong in the next few years?
Yeah, so we've got our Jersey Flag Cup side. They're having their season at the moment, and theirs is a lot longer season. And the SG Bulls side, they've already finished their seasons, under 19s, and they didn't make the finals. But the Jersey Flag Cup and the Harold Matthews team are still playing. But the Jersey Flag Cup side so far, they've had a few mixed results, really. So the first round, they lost to the Sharks here, and that was a very difficult one for them. For their first game, especially against Cronulla. It was a 36-10. And then they lost to Melbourne 36-10. And then they lost to Raiders 44-12. So the first 3 games they lost quite considerably on the scoreline there. And then a couple of improvements. Round 4, they only lost to the Knights here 18 points to 8. So a little bit of a slight improvement there from their game. So far, there's been 4 rounds gone so far, and they haven't won one yet, so yeah, they've lost pretty much all their games so far. But look, the Jersey Flag Cup team, it's their first year in the comp, so it's generally going to be a learning curve for all those younger players, and get to see some of those players come through the system, and it's just good to see them to be able to play some games, and it's great for the club moving forward that we had that system in place. But the Harold Matthews Cup side, I'll talk about the Harold Matthews Cup side because I want to give them a massive shout out. They played last week in their finals match. In the week 1 of the finals, they took on the 3rd place Parramatta Eels side, which beat us pretty comfortably in the first round of the season. And we went over there to take them on at Leichhardt Oval in Sydney on Sunday, and we won that game. We won that game 30 points to 20 and a bit of an ambush upset there over the Eels. And it was quite an impressive performance by that Harold Matthews Cup side as well. And there's some very good young players coming through there. Played. They had a massive game, especially against the Eels, and it's only been their first season in the Harold Massey's Cup competition as well. And yeah, it was only like the Warriors had a massive lead, and I think Parramatta scored 2 unconverted tries in the final 10 minutes, but the Warriors hanged on for a famous victory. So yeah, so for those of you who haven't seen the game, I think there's highlights on the Warriors website there. So Warriors Rugby League, if you want to go and check them out and watch those highlights. But it's just great having those pathways teams coming through. We've got the SG Ball, the Harold Maths. I'm very high on the juniors coming through. That is so important moving for the club, moving forward, that we have a strong junior system, and hopefully get some of these players playing in the senior side one day. But that's definitely always been the aim. That's always the aim for the club, to get some of the players playing for the Warriors. But just generally speaking, the pathway system, it's good to have it on board, and can't wait for the next couple of years to have the pathways on board continuing on and going strongly. And when the Warriors won the comps, when the Warriors won the under-20s comp, they had a strong side. They had a really strong side in that under-20s Holden Cup side for a number of years. So that's why I'm saying it's such important to have those teams moving forward, and it helps with junior players and bringing a bit of depth go through. See these guys make their NRL debuts. It's always a dream for them. So awesome. And shout out to the NRLW side as well next year. Next year it'd be great to have them and back in the competition. They've been in the comp before, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that transpires, how they set up their squad, how that all goes about it. But that's my general thoughts on the whole pathways.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Ash, any thoughts on pathways, brother?
Yeah, man, like I've been kind of jumping in and out, trying to see what sort of talent we got coming through our systems and stuff at the moment, because a lot of junior pathways and stuff like that is very much you get to see some individual talent as well. They try to come together as a team, but they only got a short period to really do so and really make up some things, especially our junior, our jersey flag and stuff like that. But obviously the last couple of games of the season, a lot of that SG Ball team, because they ended pretty early, moved up to our jersey flag team. Bussy Gala is someone that I really, really like to watch. Their fullback in the flag competition, that I'm pretty sure was the fullback in the SG Ball. They got that CO Gali down there as well, the winger. Really, really nice at the moment as well. And then, moving up through our competition, in our SG Ball early on, I really like our half Jesse Sorich. He's a young, I'm pretty sure he came from the Panthers or something like that. We got him pretty early on. He's really, really solid. And obviously, Taylor Egan, who is the younger brother of Wade Egan. So he's playing for our system at the moment and going fairly well. We've got a lot of decent talent there, Malachi Gama looks really strong, especially against their age groups and that. But it's just good to see our development systems get into place, and that's just going to help us so much for the future. And it's just, a lot of our talent back in the day used to get pinched off us really, really early, but having a system like this where you're going to be in a Warriors jersey, a Warriors system very, very early on in your years, I think that kind of helps us keeping them around for as long as possible and maybe getting a debut in our first grade squad, especially, the way we're going at the moment. So it's just awesome to see that we've got some young talent coming up through the comp, and can't wait for the future.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you both for you guys. I mean, my apologies, I don't have the time, and just really focusing on the first grade, but it's great to see the work you guys are doing. Fanatics doing an awesome job as well. Shout out to the Warriors Anonymous boys. I know Gerard does that little video spiel. I think it's awesome.
Amazing. Yep.
So shout out to those boys covering a lot of that. We really appreciate it. I know all the fans appreciate all of that stuff as well. So, hey guys, thanks, Jazz. Tamatea, 5 more likes. I think we're 5 more off from getting, I think, close to 40. So we appreciate that support.
Love that.
And while you guys are here, please give my man Warriors NRL Fanatics a like as well. And my man Ash, if you're on Ash's channel, please give him a like and subscribe. I know, Ash, you're not far off from 1,000, are you?
Yeah, not too far off. I think I'm 977 or 979 last time I checked. So
we just need
closer.
That's 33 likes, guys.
I'll get there.
Get 33 followers. If we can get a few more over to Ash's page, please help him get to that 1,000. We'd love to see him get over there. And Fanatics, you're tracking well with your numbers as well.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm getting close to that 2,600 subscriber mark. So yeah, trying to push through to get to that 3K subscribers. And
Awesome, brother. No,
hopefully I can,
you're doing
get
well.
there.
And we appreciate you coming on, and great call tonight. I think everyone's appreciated it. Guys, we are signing off, but yeah, thank you, EJ Tamati. Cheers, boys, for the show. Good listen. Sorry couldn't be active in the chat. Love from Perth. Oh, appreciate it, EJ.
Awesome.
Safe where you are. Hope you're well. It's all good, man. We love having you guys on the views. And then that, yes, thank you, man. You got playing the Dragons, not yourselves.
Gotta love all Ned.
Yeah. Zane Masters. Thank you, Zane, brother. I think that's Zane from. I believe that's Zane from Sideline. I might be wrong. Is it right, Zane?
Yeah, love that content.
Yeah, awesome content. Thank you again, Warriors Fan TV. Thank you, Nick. Good, had a great catch up with Nick.
Yep.
Go give them a like as well for Warriors Fan TV, guys, if you haven't already. And the Mighty Ginge.
Mighty Ginge.
You know, what's up?
That's my brother.
Is it? Now, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Again, give us a like and subscribe. And likewise for my brothers here on Fanatics and Ash. Ash, quickly, man, what's the go for Friday?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So obviously, taking over the full credit to the boys. So the post-match show after the Dragons versing the Warriors and that. So obviously that game is at 6 p.m. So we'll probably be waiting till probably about, I think, around the usual time. I think about, or maybe 8 p.m. will be really, really close. So in my time, maybe 9, 10-ish, I'll go live and, have a chat to you guys about the game, hopefully after a really nice win. So in New Zealand time, that's 2 hours ahead of that. So anyone in New Zealand, what would that be at Levon if it go 9, 10 o'clock?
I think it's going to be, a 6 o'clock kickoff for you. So it might do it for 8:30, 10:30 somewhere here. Or we'll figure it out with you, Ash, whatever works
100%. And keep an eye on the socials and all that. Levon socials and stuff. He'll put it up there, guys, and just flock through and have a chat with your boy.
Yeah. Awesome. And for next, what you got coming up, man? Any what's your content you coming up with at the moment?
Oh, yep. So just generally the post game sort of the review, recap, reaction sort of video, and then I do a general review on the Monday night live on YouTube. So yeah, usually I get a guest on to jump on it and do a bit of a review of the game. So I'll go through the stats and go through all that sort of stuff. So yeah, just that sort of stuff, and just all things Warriors content as well. So yeah, I'm also about to jump on another content creators channel soon. I'm going.
He's a busy man.
Busy, really busy. So I'm jumping on the Mad Dragons vodcast.
The Mad Dragon, lovely.
Yeah. So representing the Warriors there on that one. So
good on you, man.
Yeah, check that out. Nice. But pretty stacked on with content at the moment. So
absolutely, guys, and get it on the Fanatics page. Put the likes and subscribe and the notification bell because he's got a lot of content coming out, a lot of variety of interviews. So always love your work, brother. And Nenad, Nenad's going to shoot over there right now. Thank you, Nenad, man. We appreciate you having here in the chat. And we'll talk after the game. Actually, I'm no doubt you'll be on the post-match with Ash, crying and complaining about referee calls and holding him to tackle. Warriors got away with everything. So we'll see you there then. And then and tell you, and everyone that's been in the chat, Jazz, appreciate your support as well, my friend. I won't let them bully. Very nice. Good. Let's play safe. But no, thank you guys. We'll leave it there. And up the Wahs. Peace.
Up the Wahs.